Happy Monday, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Training with me to participate in my first ever surf competition. This being said, I'm still very much a beginner intermediate. I am dedicating the next 6 months of my life in order to become a better athlete and a better surfer. We're diving into nutrition, training, and in-water technique, coaching, and review. So spend a week with me and let's get to it. Sore and tired from all the surf that I've been getting in the last few days, but it's a great problem to have. We have some great waves as always, and the sun is shining, and I'm gonna go home, change, and go for a surf. But before that, I want to show you something that my friend brought me. It's like a bear trap, he calls it, and this is to basically massage the muscles and the nerves in your arms. And I had issues with tennis elbows in the past, so basically just like the nerve in the elbows can get a little bit inflamed and achy. So this is like a foam roller for your arms, and I'm gonna test it out, but so far I think this might be my new best friend. Just because when I have a bunch of sessions where I'm paddling consistently, I'm doing a lot of duck dives, I can, with this motion, it can create some tension and some pain in my elbow. I'm gonna go home, have some water, electrolytes, a little snack, and head to the beach, and hopefully we get a good session in. That would be the perfect way to start the week. Had such a fun surf session today, and no, it's not because the waves were amazing. The waves were actually pretty terrible. There was a lot of current, a lot of backwash, but what made it a really great session was my mindset. I have been implementing a lot of my different tools for mental management and just a little extra awareness on what my thoughts are and what kind of energy I'm bringing into my training. So I showed up to the beach and noticed that the waves were just kind of a little bit funky. I had my photographer that was on the beach, and we kind of chatted a little bit, and I asked him, like, do you think it's surfable? Like, is it worth it? And he was like, yeah, it is surfable. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go in the water and see what this session can bring me. And the highlight of my session wasn't necessarily the quality of my waves, but I really was extra aware of what kind of narrative I was running in my head while I was in the water. So instead of telling myself like, this isn't like good conditions and the waves are just weird and it's crowded and it's a lot of backwash, I shifted my narrative to be like, hey, this is an awesome opportunity for me to actually focus on being dynamic, and this is gonna make me such a better surfer compared to surfing to a point break where the waves are always very mechanical, like always the same, you know what to expect. The waves today were like very shifty. They would have a lot of, you know, different peaks moving around and a lot of backwash from the water. So it was very difficult to kind of analyze where the wave was breaking and where I should be positioning myself in order to get the wave. I ended up having a really awesome session where I was seeing some people sitting right next to me that were just kind of just getting frustrated over it. And I had the most fun, and I had 3 waves that like actually felt like I was making progress. I mean, the waves in themselves were like very funky, but I was able to get around sections, and overall like I was laughing on the way and having just genuinely a good time. And this is what it's about. Like I think focusing on enjoying the process rather than being so attached to the outcome is such a key fundamental thing of training. And I am learning this lesson again and again, but this really is what shined through my session today. So I am gonna have a little bit of a snack. I am starving, gonna have some fresh mangoes that I picked up this weekend, and I will do a little bit of work, and then I think I'm gonna go for another sunset session. And we'll see. I'm still gonna bring in that positive attitude because having fun is the whole point of this. What are you doing if you're not having fun? Really? Got a nice mango. These are Tommy mangoes. They're very sweet and they have a lot of nice colors to them. They can be almost like perfumey sometimes. It's a little bit overripe, but I bet it's still gonna be good. It doesn't smell like vinegar. You gotta trust your nose with fruits. If it doesn't smell sweet, it's not a good fruit. And if it smells a little bit vinegary, then it's overripe. But this one actually looks pretty good. Surf session was humbling, to say the least. I went into the water, and as I was, just trying to get out in the lineup, there was this giant set that came and broke right in front of me, and it felt like the energy was starting to build as I was trying to paddle out, and I ended up just taking a wave in almost immediately. And my session was maybe 15-20 minutes long, but just that short period of time felt really tiring and difficult. And I was like in the water and I said, you know what? This is just not worth my time and my energy. I am definitely feeling a lot more tired. These last few days I've been doing a lot of double sessions, either surfing twice or surfing and then going to the gym in the same day. And I'm starting to kind of feel it. This combined with my hormones at the moment and also being in deficit resulted in me I have a really good sleep, but my recovery is super low. So this is a good example that like your sleep can be really good. You can sleep a full 8 hours and be rested, but your recovery is actually very different than your rest in your sleep. So those are 2 different factors, because you can sleep for 8 hours and have plenty of REM sleep and deep sleep. If your nervous system is just taxed, you're gonna have a higher heart rate, you're gonna have a higher respiration, and your HRV, basically your adaptability in your heart rate, is going to be down. And that means like just your nervous system isn't actually fully back to where it was. So I think for today, I'm probably not going to try to surf again. I'm just going to keep with my full body workout, and I might even take tomorrow off from surfing, depending on what kind of recovery I get when I wake up. But I really want to protect the energy that I have. Especially, I know that we're gonna get some great waves this weekend, and I want to be able to make the most out of my energy for those sessions that are a little bit more adapted to the skills that I have and are gonna allow me to have better reps. I just had such a nice sunset walk and I really needed it because I spent the whole day doing a whole evaluation of the Q2 in preparation for Q3 with work. This was like a great time for me to just review everything that I've been working on, prepare for this next 3 months. Yeah, I'm so used to just being very busy and running around between the gym and going surfing that it felt actually really good to be very kind of laser focused on work and be productive and do this big assessment. I feel like I managed to clear a lot of stuff that was just kind of pending in my head, get a good overview of what I've accomplished so far. And overall, like, I'm just really proud of myself. I think I'm developing my skills and getting to learn a lot with this new project I'm working on. Yeah, sometimes you need those kinds of work focused days and more mental focused days. It's part of the balance. I feel like I am very good at doing intense blocks of focused work per day. So I'll have like an hour or two of like very dedicated work, and then I will go surf or go to the gym and then come back and do another block of hours. I don't honestly remember the last time that I've done like a full day of work without really stopping from morning to evening. And I have to say I have so much respect for people who do this, and it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of commitment and focus, and not in a way that I don't feel like I do that when I split my days in blocks of focused period of time, but I feel like this just shines some light on the fact that I'm very blessed and very lucky to be able to live this kind of life and do the work that I do and have those focused blocks of time and have so much time also to invest in my health and my training and in my favorite activities. And I'm feeling incredibly blessed and grateful. And this feeling came from doing some work and taking a day off from surfing. But I'm still getting some movement in. I'm doing a beautiful 1 hour long walk. The whole sky is just turning pink and purple behind me. What a magical time of the day. I don't know if you guys can see it. Just this little bit of pink next to me. Oh. Yeah, I am so blessed and so happy and grateful, and life is beautiful. It all depends on your perspective and the kind of narrative that you're running in your head. I'm gonna keep on walking and show you a little bit of the colors in the sky because it is phenomenal. I was really hoping to be able to give you guys a little Friday weekly recap with a nice sunset, but it looks like Mother Nature is into this changes. So there's a lot of clouds right now because we are starting the rainy season. Might not be as beautiful and colorful as usual, but we're still at the beach and I hope the background noise is not too intense, but I wanted to do something a little bit different for this weekly recap. And I thought, what other place should I do it rather than the gym? The beach it is. So for this week, if I had to recap my energy, I would very honestly give it a 5 out of 10. I had 3 days where I was in the yellow in my recovery, so that means like my nervous system and my body is just feeling a little extra tired. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this recap at the beach. Honestly, like, well, something that I found that has changed my mindset tremendously is whenever I feel like I'm having a more difficult period, either being like I'm low energy or my mindset is not as good as usual or my mood is not as good as usual, I will lean into all the tools that I know that actually help me in order to feel better. I mean, that's kind of like, that's obvious, but it's always a good reminder, like whatever tools you know you have and whatever you know works for you to help you feel better, use it. The good thing is I feel like my hunger and my craving overall were a little bit lower. And I think this is naturally tied to me having less energy. So also having a less of a high energy output. Like I didn't surf every day. I actually took Thursday completely off I took Sunday as like an absolute rest day last week. And then I took Thursday again as a rest day where I didn't surf and I didn't go to the gym. I did go for a really lovely long sunset beach walk, but generally my output was a lot lower than last week where I was doing a lot of like double sessions and also surfing and going to the gym the same day. This is a reminder, like, yeah, it's great to be in a deficit and a cut, but also like there's something that it comes at a cost. And I hope that you guys can see that it's not like all easy or great. It's sometimes there's a little bit of difficulty to that, and the training takes a toll, the energy takes a toll, the mood takes a toll. So yeah, I'm just trying to be very transparent about it. I'm honestly really happy with the results I've had, and I'm happy that I've learned this new tool on how to do it in a safe and structured way that I know works for me. I'm also really excited to move into this different training block, which is going to be really to fuel for performance. So one of the things that I requested my coach last weekend was to have a little bit of tips and tricks on how to have a better mindset as an athlete, because every athlete will spend hours training their body. Only a few of them actually also spend hours training their mind. And I think that the two of them are so connected together. And it's really important to train both in order to have not only a good relationship with your training, with your process, with your food, and every aspect of it, but I think it's also really important because your mindset is more than just for your training. It's also on how you show up on a day-to-day basis. One of the great things that my coach suggested me to do is to have some type of detachment from the thoughts. I like feel irritated by someone in the water, that's like back paddling me or something. I try to like detach myself from it and just be like, oh, I'm noticing my thoughts. I'm noticing this, and not feeling so much like it's part of me, but more that it's something that is passing in my mind. And that's been really helpful. Something else that like was really eye-opening to me is I'm reading this awesome book called With Winning in Mind. And it's written by an Olympic athlete, and he spent years studying the minds of some of the best athletes in the world. A really cool thing that he shared is about goal setting and reaching your goals. So when you're trying to reach your goal, you're trying to attain your goal. The attaining of a goal is contained of two separate parts. The achievement, which is external, so people around you seeing you achieve it and achieve your goal. And the second part of it is the development. So who do you have to become in order to reach this goal? And that honestly kind of blew my mind in a way, because it's so true. Like, if I was to wave a magic wand and grant you with your goal that you have been hoping for, yes, you might have the external achievement, but what you wouldn't get is the process of who you have become through working really hard, consistently, and with dedication in order to reach that goal. If your goal is to have a certain type of athletic body, yes, you might look athletic. Do you know how to maintain it? Do you know really what it takes in order to keep it, in order to make it work in a sustainable, extended period of time? Like, I think we generally put so much value in the external recognition of achieving a goal that we kind of forget that the biggest piece in a goal is who will you become in order to reach that goal, and what will it require of yourself to learn, and which pieces of yourself will need to grow or to shift or to change or to lose in order to actually reach that goal. So
it's the weekend.
weekend and we just got our orders of fruits and vegetables for the week. As per usual, I spent about $60 to $70 US to get everything, all the fresh produce from our farmers. And this is for 2 people for 1 week. So let me run you through everything that we got. First off, we start with some eggs straight from the farm. These are really, really awesome eggs. They have a deep yolk and they taste amazing. We also have some green onions. We have a pound of mixed grains. I love this in order to just add some more volume easily to all my meals. I also get half a pound of arugula, which I love to mix together. And I have some bok choy. This is so tasty. It really adds a lot to all my Asian type of dishes. We also have some parsley and some limes that I use as topping. Also, lime is a staple in the kitchen because we use it to make natural electrolytes. We mix half a lime with some honey and some salt and it tastes like lemonade. It's amazing and so simple too. We also have some purple cabbage, which is something that is very easy and always a good reliable item. Since the temperature changes so much and the rain also varies so much from month to month, there is different type of things such as like fruits that are not always available based on the season and also based on the amount of rain. We have some ginger, some beets. The beets here are amazing. They are so sweet and you don't even need to cook them. You can literally just grate them and have them in your salads, and it's a really, really awesome product that I've just discovered this year that is available here. Then something special, this was a special request that I put in for my order this week, was to have bell peppers, and these are clearly imported because they do look a little bit older, but I was just really craving them and they are not something that I have unfortunately every week. I would love to have that every week, but it's just not something that grows here. We get great zucchinis, great carrots. Those are super sweet too and very tender. Onions, those squash have been amazing. I kind of forgot about squash. Like, it's so easy here to get into a habit of just ordering the same thing. Since I don't go to the supermarket, I get all my fruits and vegetables delivered to my house directly from the farmers. So it's not like I can browse the aisles. Like, I need to ask what's available and put an order based on it. And then some of the stuff, sometimes I order it and they just simply do not have. Like, I ordered avocado and unfortunately it's not gonna be on a menu unless I can find some directly from another farmers in the next few days. We have some tomatoes. This is the only variety of tomatoes that grows here, but it's pretty reliable. There's always some and they're really good. We have dragon fruits. I love dragon fruit. This is a fruit that comes from a cactus and they are very watery on the inside. They have a lot of different seeds. They have a lot of seeds in it, but it's almost like chia seeds. They're really tiny and the texture is very similar to a kiwi and the taste is like a berry taste. I will have one of them per day, or if I have some that are gonna go bad, if I have some that are very ripe, I'll just freeze them and then cut them into my breakfast in the morning. I also have some frozen mangoes still in the freezer that I'm gonna be using. We have tons of bananas. Love the bananas here. They taste amazing. And we have Hawaiian pineapple, which I'm feeling very inspired for some type of poke bowl meal this week. So on the menu for the meal prep for today, I am thinking to do my usual breakfast. So I usually have chia seeds and some fruits and some protein powder mixed in it. And as a snack, I'll have some Greek yogurt and some more fruits. So I've been having 2 breakfasts in the morning. They're not big breakfasts, but this kind of just allows me to spread a little bit more of my calories throughout the morning. And this has been such a big game changer, especially for my training, because I cannot have a big breakfast and then go to the gym or go lay on my stomach on a surfboard. So having 2 smaller breakfasts has shifted things for me. And then for lunch, I usually try to do something that has less volume. Once again, if I'm gonna be surfing in the afternoon, I cannot have a big salad and then go lay on my stomach. So I'm thinking to do a poke bowl, kind of sushi bowl for lunch. And for dinner, dinner. I do have some sourdough bread that I got from the baker. So I might do a Mediterranean kind of salad on the side with some chicken, and then I can have a piece of bread with it and do a little dressing, put some chicken on top of it, or maybe some eggs. I think that's a really, really good idea. If you're gonna take one tip from my videos and my kind of meal prep thing, the easiest thing to do is hard-boiled some eggs and have them ready in your fridge. You're gonna feel so satiated from it. It's super easy to travel with because, you know, you don't have to peel them. You just kind of take them with you and you can have them on the go. It's an awesome thing. Just start doing some hard-boiled eggs and have them ready in your fridge. It's gonna change things for you. Happy Sunday. I got my feedback from my coach, Georgia. We're going to take a look at it together, see how the week went, and also start planning for next week.
All right, Charlotte, well done on completing week 8 of the program. Absolutely brilliant work. I want to give you a little bit of feedback on the week that you've had so far and make a little plan for the week going forward, okay? So the sessions that we did were brilliant. Everything was very consistent. We got the sessions done. I know you've been feeling a little bit tired, as you said in your feedback already, so just even getting them done has been great. And we're kind of maintaining like pretty solid weights in comparison to what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks, so it's not like anything is dropping massively. We're still staying pretty strong in all of those. So
I noticed the movements that seem to be dropping the most in terms of my performance has been my pull-ups. I used to be able to do like 10 pull-ups while also weighing heavier. And now I can do like maybe 6, so that has been reduced quite a bit. Something that does stay pretty good and consistent are like my push-ups and my plank seem to be pretty good, but yeah, pull-ups is just like kind of a tough one. I am so looking forward to this new phase of training and adding some more dynamics movement and also rebuilding my strength specifically on my pull-ups.
Very happy with the sessions, given that we've also been surfing and we've also been moving our body a lot with probably not a lot of fuel in it at the moment, okay? So first thing I want to say as well on the nutrition is very well done. I mean, it's definitely not easy to go into a calorie deficit while you have such a high energy output, and the way you're doing it is very smart. You're splitting out the meals throughout the day. The meals that you are having are full of fiber and protein, and I definitely noticed that you took my notes yesterday or last week on, you know, even filling out those meals even more with fruit and vegetables. So you really took that on board, which I'm super happy about as well. The rainbow, you really took the rainbow literally, which I'm happy about that. We are in a position where we have lost a certain amount of weight, and we're starting to get to a point where we are getting very irritable and emotional, and it's affecting our day-to-day emotions, okay? So that's happened now 2 weeks in a row where the nutritional side of it has started to affect our day-to-day emotions. You have addressed it very well by actually, you know, reading up about things and acknowledging it and understanding your body and how your body's reacting and your brain is reacting, but that doesn't necessarily mean that this is equally good for your body either. So we need to remember that too. You know, sometimes everything is not a challenge. So, you know, having those feelings of, you know, stress and more irritability and more low mood, you know, sometimes that's actually your body's signal of saying like, okay, look, I've had enough here. Okay. So that's just one red flag that's come up for me.
I love the way that she said that. You know, not everything has to be a challenge, and there's an important message that our body
are trying to say. You know, when we get into those type of stages or feeling very irritable or feeling like our mental state is being affected by our training or nutrition. And like, health is wealth. Health is the most important thing. I really strongly believe that there is something to be said about wanting to feel athletic and to also know your own kind of range that you feel good in. I know for myself, like, I do have some different things that will start to happen when I am under fueling for a while. And I know those things because I've been an athlete for years now. And I know that when I start noticing that my thoughts are really circulating more around food, when my attention at work and when my creative energy starts to drop, all of those things I know are red flags for my body that is trying to communicate something to me. It's not giving me a challenge that I need to like muscle through. Like, no, it's actually something important that I need to be aware of.
The second red flag for me is that we are 7 days delayed on our period, okay? So I've worked a lot with females in a sport, you know, teams and athletes, female athletes, and I see this a lot, right? So it's called relative energy deficiency, and it happens when, basically, these are all the worst case scenarios, but it happens when we have low energy availability. So basically, over a prolonged amount of time, if we continue it to a point where we start to give our body not enough energy for a little bit too long, that it's kind of not able for or not capable of, the body starts to, I guess, preserve energy in ways, and it starts to shut down certain systems, okay? This is what ends up leading to menstrual and hormonal disorders.
Girls, please, if you're an athlete, if you train a lot, please go and read about it. It's very crucial for not only your hormonal health, but also your bone density. And a lot of like different things can happen from underfueling. And let me just share a few of them with you so that you can see if some of them are resonating. So you have reduced bone density and menstrual disorders. These are like the main kind of most, I'd say, dangerous things. Not dangerous, but like the major red flags that you might not see immediately, but that the root cause of these will really come from reduced energy deficiency, digestive issues. It can be depression and eating disorders. It can be also endocrine disorders, metabolic disorders, anemia, cognitive deficits, cardiovascular disorders, increased risk of overall injuries, reduced performance, recurring infections. Like, all those things are different flags that your body might start to show if you are sitting in that deficit for too long.